Hey, what's going on YouTube? Charles again, and I just got a nice little shipment directly from Sweden. Well, this one's not. This is from the US, but you'll figure out what that is pretty soon here. As a bonus, I got another unused Swedish Trangia Army mess kit. Anyway, so let's take a look here. So now I have two of these sturdy carbide lamps, and what in theory makes these sturdier is, with this mesh, the steel mesh around here. Unlike some of them with the glass, this thing will, or these will last longer. These things are unused, and you can see that there's obviously the paint is chipped here. There's some minor rust chips. When I got this first one, I thought, man, there's a lot of rust inside of this top, but I was trying to clean the second one I got, but it looks to me like this is copper inside of there, because I used some phosphoric acid, or like a rust cleaner mitigator, and it would not turn it into iron phosphate. So I don't know too much about these things. It's kind of crazy, because there's, a lot of these were made, I guess, back during World War II, but I really haven't found much information at all. So these are pretty interesting, and I did find out how to assemble inside of here. So someone at one time was selling this other one that uses a glass globe instead of like the steel mesh or the square glass. This was in their original tube that this was kept in. Now I don't read Swedish, but the most important thing is, if you remember that first video, there was that plate inside of there, which I can pop one of these out. But anyway, this is the plate. I wasn't sure if it sat this way or this way. According to this picture, then it's going to sit like this on top of the calcium carbide. And then that is the valve for the water reservoir, and then inside you can see the tube for the acetylene gas to go up inside of there. Yeah, I don't know, I think it's pretty amazing these things are in such great condition for being almost 80 years old. And I'm going to use one. Now, I'm not going to use it right now because I still need to test how much drips out from the valve. I did buy this calcium carbonate. Now, this stuff takes a little while to get if you don't live near to a place where they manufacture this or sell it, because it has to be shipped by ground. So just under 2 weeks ago I ordered this from Arizona, so it took nearly 2 weeks just to get here. And I bought this one on eBay. I wasn't really sure how much I need, but to me it looks like half of this container will go into, now they've got a it's hard to see in the video, right? But there is a line there, and that is pointing that that's the maximum height of the calcium carbide to go inside of there. After you do that, then you put the plate over top of it. You can kind of get an idea. Then you put this thing back together, and then you open the valve. Here, let's take a look at this. So this one is nice. It's got this cardboard container, cylinder container, and you can kind of see here it's got this little twine, so you can carry this. And then on the lid's interesting, so it's got this box. Well, I didn't even check inside of there, but I think it's got extra nozzles inside of it. So I really haven't even looked at this one. I just received these yesterday. Sorry for the wait. But you can see in there, there's, well, it's not focusing, but if you take a look inside there, there's not really much, a lot of dust. And to me, it sounds like there are some nozzles in there. I'll see if I can get this thing open. So, I still can't see that this might be a plate of glass. Or is that a plate? It might just be a, well, I didn't really think to look into this stuff earlier. It looks like it's just a steel plate inside of there. Maybe it's so that you can replace one of the panes of glass, you know, either if you broke it or maybe as a reflector or something like that. But let's take a better look at this one. So I'm really kind of digging the way it's got this glass up on the top. So this one is also a Punker 80. From some of the stuff I've read online is that you know, they were originally made by the same maker of who is that, like the Optimus 1031, and they think that maybe the Punker 80s were made more for the army, but yeah, I can't find verification that the Punker 80 was more towards the military, and that the excuse me, Primus, not Optimus, the Primus 1031 more towards you know, regular civilians. What's kind of different in here, if you take a look at the bottom, so you have the same similar valve in the middle as this one. This one has a much smaller filter for that gas to go through, and you see how ginormous this filter is. Now this feels like it's probably wool. You know, it's not going to be like a dense wool, but it's a lighter wool. Has, you know, the base is the same. This is the same. The only difference on this is you've got glass versus the mesh. I don't know. This thing is pretty dang cool. I like the way that looks, and you know, I will use these, but what I need to do is test the valve and make sure I know where off is, and where, you know, which way I turn it to allow more water to drip down into the basin before I just attempt to put this stuff in there and light it. And then I'm kind of holding, because I was saving this for my son's got some Boy Scout activities coming, and I was gonna, you know, bring one of these out and show them how it works. It is kind of interesting, and at least to me, maybe not to you, so you don't have to like it. I'm just showing you what I've got. I don't make money on this stuff, making videos. I just do it, you know, because I like to. And if there is the very few, you know, most of my videos are all like niche things, so whoever's interested in my mess kit a lot of times are not interested in anything else besides that, or vice versa. If you're looking at these lamps, you know, you're probably not interested in my backpacks or whatever I've got. But I do try to do videos on things that you don't see as often on YouTube. So that's all I'm really trying to do, and just documenting some of this stuff that I haven't seen. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put them there. I will answer as soon as I can. Appreciate you guys watching, and you have a great evening. Bye bye.